In this video, I have this 1440p gaming PC that has amazing aesthetics, performance, and you can build it for around $1,000 or as little as $800, and how I turned that into a profit in this video. So the first thing I do when building a new gaming PC is look for the best deals on the CPU and GPU, because we all know those are the most important parts when it comes to a gaming PC, and normally the most expensive, but that's no longer the case. So my top 3 places to go starts with AliExpress. There's normally holiday deals, but they tend to have one like half the time I check the website. With those, you're able to get a coupon, and usually Rakuten will have some cash back, so I like to promote Rakuten in the links that I give. But in the instance that AliExpress doesn't have any good sales or good deals, something like Reddit's hardware swap or build a PC sales for brand new parts are great places to refresh and check out. Then of course, refreshing Discords like Zactag Turfs or Elijah's Lab, another YouTuber that has a Discord with this bot that gives out some pretty good eBay deals. But anyways, for this video, I use a Ryzen 7 5700X as I thought this was a really good deal, and it is. An 8-core 16-thread processor I spent $130 on. Right now it's at around $160, but with any coupon codes, you can definitely get that down to $150. And this is after tax and shipping, of course. And yeah, there's really no arguing with the CPU. Obviously, I just get whatever has a good deal at the time. But if you're copying this video, I would also recommend a Ryzen 5 5600, or you can get a better CPU. I'm just gonna stick with the AM4 platform. And we're just gonna go in order. Next up is the motherboard. Now, honestly, any AM4 motherboard will work, and you don't wanna go anything too low end here. Normally where I end up buying my motherboards is Newegg. I don't ever like going used, and the only used option I go for is open box. They usually have plenty of good deals on there, but honestly, you just have to check every single day. And yeah, there's usually some around $60 to $70. Here, this Asus Prime B550M A2 Wi-Fi is a pretty solid motherboard and includes everything that we need. But I do wish I had one more USB slot. You'll see why later. But yeah, it's a nice clean board, nothing crazy, and I got this on a combo deal, which is also on Newegg. And this one I do have to sit down for because it is truly a shame of what it's become. But I can tell you that it is possible to get affordable RAM right now. Again, using the same methods. Used RAM is gonna be your best friend here. I did not get used RAM for this PC, however. I personally used this T4 16GB kit of RAM at 3200 megahertz that I got in a combo deal a while back. I'll post a screenshot of whatever combo deal that was. But if you're just buying the RAM by itself, eBay or just any way to buy used parts is gonna be the best. Obviously 16 gigabytes is pretty good for our budget. You can go 32, but you should really research if you need that or not. Since we're going used, anywhere from like $50 to $70 should be spent for your RAM. Nothing too crazy. It's honestly less than what I spent because mine is brand new. Now, I will happily say I use a 1TB NVMe in this build, which I would recommend for a personal build. Sometimes I have to put a 500GB NVMe in these builds, and if I didn't have a good deal on this 1TB, I would have done that. But the same rules apply. Going for used on a 1TB NVMe or 500 gigabytes if you really need that is going to be much better value than getting it brand new. Now in a more positive light, we have our AIO. And if you go on somewhere like Amazon, you can easily find such affordable AIOs nowadays, or air coolers if you prefer that. And all we need is an air cooler for a build, but I've honestly found better deals on AIOs. This one I just needed because I originally was going to build this PC with a digital display, but I forgot this case has one. So yeah, you can easily spend like $45 or less on a 240mm AIO or buy an air cooler. It's plenty. I just care about aesthetics, and this is what I used. And before we get into our GPU, obviously all we need for this build is going to be 650 watts. Feel free to use more, but months ago I got this deal on this MSI Mag A650GL. But anyways, power supplies are pretty affordable nowadays. I'll make sure to list down the best deals that I can find when actually posting this video. And this leads us to our graphics card, and it is the RX 7700 XT from AMD. Now I chose this one specifically because I got it on a good deal, and it just works out perfectly for this build and our budget. I paid $300 for this GPU, and you can probably find that pretty easily. But yeah, 12 gigabytes of VRAM. And right here, I'm pulling up a comparison between the RX 7700 XT in the RTX 3080. Obviously the AMD option has more VRAM, and they're pretty similar in performance. Now I would just recommend whichever one you can get for around that $300 price point, or just the cheaper of the two, and you'll have a pretty similar build to what I have built here in the Shiny Snake G600. Now you probably have never heard of this brand, and neither did I until they reached out. They did send me this case for review, So shout out them. But yeah, I really like this design, and I haven't seen this before with a display as well. So that is why I picked that one specifically. Now at around $140, would I actually recommend it? Only if you want the display. It's definitely a great case. It has really good quality and the software is okay. It has some presets and you can also customize your own. But yeah, a very clean case and comes with plenty of USB ports, which one problem I ran into with this case is I have so many USB ports, but I don't have enough on the motherboard. And what I mean by that is I don't have a USB-C on this one specifically. And I believe if you do, then you'll have enough for all of them. I actually have to use a USB-C adapter for this, and I chose this and these two over all 4 of the USB-A's. So that's just one thing to keep in mind if you have a similar motherboard with also a display. But that is because of my mistake. But yeah, great airflow, great aesthetics, and the build turned out pretty nice. They do have a few other options on their website, especially if you don't want the display for the extra cash. But yeah, I believe this PC turned out pretty good. But obviously we have still yet to check the benchmarks and also if you're able to turn a nice profit on this computer. So let's get into the numbers. On Java, I sold this PC within 1 day, which means I could have listed it for a little bit more. I sold this PC at $1,100 and my payout was after fees, $953.38. The buyer paid for shipping, so this is my full payout. I technically paid because the case was free, $725. I'll include the pricing like right here. And as you can see, something like the 1TB NVMe was like $54, which is what I spent before the price increase. But you can replace that with a used 1TB or a used 500GB, which is what I would have done if I didn't have this deal. But if we include the total cost of the PC case at $140, that makes my total $865, but I wouldn't have spent that much on this flip anyway. If we put in a number like $60, which is what I would have spent, maybe $70, it would have been $785, leaving me about $168 in profit. If I were to repeat this, it would be around that profit anyway. I would have obviously used RAM or storage, making that price even lower or the same. And it's obviously a little bit different since I use a sponsored case, which you should check out in the description. But before we get into that, if you want the lowest possible lag when gaming, make sure to check out Exit Lag, as they are running a 50% off your annual subscription, plus an additional 3 free months. I personally have used Exit Lag to play Fortnite at 0 ping, and now I'm an Exit Lag affiliate. Let's go. Starting us off on Forza Horizon 6, we got 1440p and we got quality FSR 4 and high settings. Pretty much just really good quality settings that actually run pretty well, as we can see. And then I bumped it just a little bit with extreme settings, and yeah, the performance didn't really change at all. I would say like 10 to 15 FPS is the difference. And yeah, obviously the game continues to look even better. Definitely runs really well on this game specifically. And on some Arc Raiders, we have 1440p and the FSR on balanced. And then epic settings, running over 90 FPS, sometimes 100, around that same range is what we're looking for here when it has really good quality. Then we turn on ultra performance and low, still keeping 1440p. And as we've seen before in this game, it doesn't really increase the FPS that much. So I would prioritize looks, as you still get that good FPS range. And now on Cyberpunk, we of course test this game all the time. 1440p ultra FSR 4 does really well, considering those are some of the highest settings in the game, and we're getting 88 FPS on average. And then if we try a bit of ray tracing, which I do not recommend on this card specifically, we get 79 FPS, but it is low. Then on a more competitive game like Marvel Rivals, we have 1440p quality FSR 4 in medium settings. Obviously you don't really need high settings in this game. I would honestly recommend playing lower settings, as we see here on 1080p. With the same quality presets, but 1080p increases the FPS so much, and you can even go lower and get even more FPS if you really need it. Then a game I've never tested before, Monster Hunter Wilds, and I don't know how it normally goes, but on 1440p here and these settings I've chosen, we aren't getting like crazy FPS. I mean, it's definitely playable, but I don't really know what you should be aiming for here. I just know that it is runnable, and I guess it looks decent as well. And yeah, just ending off the video real quick, I want to say that this was a successful PC flip, as the turn-on process was pretty fast. Also, the PC itself was pretty good, and I do recommend you copy this video even if you're not looking to sell the PC. In fact, I don't even think I'm going to title it that, but I just want to include that part in this video as that's what I do for every video. I always sell the computer. If you want to see more of that in the future, let me know. And yeah, I think this is a pretty good PC that you should build for around $800. Depending on what you follow in this video determines the price you're going to pay. I just think this is a really solid build, which you can look to copy for yourself. Subscribe.